Hello everyone, welcome to another Just Ask Answered. It's been a while, I apologize. I myself have gone through a huge transformation through December into January, especially the first week and a half of January prior to the eclipse. I'm sure the rest of you have stories to tell. My entire family actually is going through it, and we continue to go through it. So my zodiac readings didn't even make it up in December. That's how big this was. I don't remember going through one like this for years. So I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm back. The question this time is, it's actually a really good question. It's, how do I know when I'm connecting to you, Spirit, or my higher self? I'm not sure how to answer that, because when I first started on this journey toward 5D or spirituality from ego, I assumed that I had one guide that worked through me, and I also had my inner being. Now, I've traveled a little further down that path, and my belief now is that there's no difference. It's one and the same. Your higher self and spirit is one and the same. It's one source of energy, and we are all connected. It's as though, if you look at it this way, everybody on the planet has this, if you want to look at it like an electrical cord, so to speak, because it is energy. We all have this one electrical wire or cord running through all of us, and that's how we're all connected. It's just one big source of energy that branches off and feeds each and every one of us, if that makes sense. Now, because I'm not too sure how to answer that question because of what I went through in my belief of how it works, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull cards, because I do want to know what Source has to say about this. So feels good to be back, I gotta say. Feels really good to be back. So what deck am I going to use here? I guess let's use this one. Let's ask Source about, I don't even know how to ask that question of Source now. Do I ask it? I'm just going to ask it the way you asked it. How do we know when we are connecting to spirit or source energy or our higher self? Angels, please and thank you. Wow, that was very quick. We have the Moon, and we have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups to me always looks like a card that's about daydreaming. The Moon, of course, is all about intuition. I just want to take a look at the artwork here, because Spirit usually will draw me to something in particular in the artwork. Okay. I want you to look at something, because I feel it's what I already said, what we already talked about. Look in this card. Do you see that this person has got a mask in her hand, and she's looking at the mask? In her other hand, she's got a heart in her palm. I don't know how close I can get here. There you go. And there's all this magic around this person. If you look at the fairies, the little orbs, glowing things, the dove. So what this is telling me is that it's kind of what I just said. Your higher self, your source, is outside of you. It's all around you. And in this card, the message that came through for me in this card is it's flowing to you and through you. So again, this is all of your loved ones that have passed over and are on the other side. They are all flowing to you, through you. It's a combined energy. It's, if you look at it from this angle, the great big line of electrical that runs to your house, and then it splinters off and goes in goes in a bunch of different directions to all of your outlets. It's wired through your house, through all the walls, and all those different outlets and light switches that you have. Those are source energy. They're in different areas, they're in different places. It's not one particular, if you look at the light switches and the outlets, those could be considered individual people on the planet. The one great big line of electricity that comes to your house and then gets parted out to all the different light switches and electrical outlets, that is source flowing to and through all of these different people. But it's one source, if that makes sense. You know what, though? If it makes you feel better, it did me for a while. If it makes you feel better to look at it from an angle of these are my loved ones only, or this is only my higher self, like they're, you have a soul and source energy is separate from that soul, so to speak. If that makes it easier for you to look at it that way, look at it that way. I don't think it really matters, as long as we all have that understanding that there is a greater source, there is a higher source, there is a higher consciousness that does flow to us and through us, and that's how things function on the planet. I think that's all that we need to know. It's all we need to believe in. I do feel that the answer that came through here is what I already said. It is one source of energy. Your soul is like one of those light switches or outlets in a home, right? But again, like I said, take it for what it's worth and believe what works for you. That's basically what it always comes down to. Now, what I want to do for you today is I want to guide you, or help you be guided with a card from this new deck that I absolutely love. I'm sure you've seen it before, the Motivation Manifesto. This deck, I love it so much because it does have some really big, deep messages in it. I also want to point out that I do have a new mic, everyone. I know it was kind of a pain for all of you when I would bring the cards up close to my camera, and as it was focusing in on the image, it would tick, and you would hear that. So I have a separate mic now. Hopefully that's going to resolve the issue, and you will notice it in today's reading because I did bring these close to the camera, and I'm hoping you didn't hear the ticking. So I guess I'll find out in the editing. Let's get a card from the Motivation Manifesto and see what Spirit has to say to everybody today. Maybe in regards to this question. That would be perfect. Whoa. Okay, I'm not going to take those. That was way too many, but only one flipped over. So here's what came out. All greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. Wow. I gotta read that again. All greatness teeters on whether a would-be hero overcomes the terror within and advances regardless. This is, this is that thing where if you take a look at your past, everything you've ever really wanted has been on the other side of fear, and that's what this card is saying. You're going to achieve greatness if you can overcome that fear within you and move forward anyways. That belief that you're not good enough, that belief that you're not deserving, that anxiety of putting yourself out there and being your true authentic self. You're being guided to do so. The fact that this came out with this question makes me believe that someone out there, or several of you out there, needed to hear this. You are being guided in a direction. You're maybe letting the fear of making that move in that direction hold you back. And by doing so, you're shutting yourself off from that achievement, that greatness that is meant for you. That's the difference. Your fear, your beliefs, your self-worth, however you want to look at it, that all dictates whether you're successful in life or not. If you can move through that and move toward whatever it is you're being guided to move toward, regardless of what you think and feel, you will be successful. I hope this helps. I know in beginning stages anyways, it's a little confusing to try and understand your soul, source, which is which. But again, I don't think it matters as long as we're all aware that there is a higher consciousness, a higher state of being that we are trying to achieve, as well as what is outside of us that flows to us and through us. It's great to be back. I am going to keep moving forward. I do have new things coming your way, so keep your eyes open for those. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.